Hello, Pisces, and welcome to this, your June 1st through June 15th reading and predictions. For those of you who are returning, a very warm welcome to each and every one of you. And to those of you who are new here, welcome. I'm honored to have you here. All right, so as you can see, I am still in the same location as I was last month. I'm still waiting for some paperwork to come through. Also, can you believe we are going into June? I'm recording this at the end of May, and I'm sitting here bundled up. Brr, it's quite chilly here today. Our weather patterns are definitely changing. Should we intuit anything about that, Pisces? Maybe I'll do a video about that in the near future. Okay, without any further ado, Pisces, let's get on with your June 1st through June 15th reading. This reading is intended for anybody born under the sign of Pisces, as well as anybody with a significant amount of Pisces elsewhere in their charts, no matter where it happens to be. The first cards that we're going to pull for you, Pisces, are going, my hair is driving me nuts today. The first cards that we're going to pull are cards of where you're at now, what's influencing you now, here as I record this video at the end of May. Do you have one card that's trying to escape out the side here? So I think we'll just pull that one out in a sec. Is there anything else for the Pisces? Just where they're at now? Whoops. Yep, guess so. Okay, and this one. Oh, interesting. Look at that. We have a card sticking out. Huh. I guess we'll pull that one out too, because it's looking like it really wants to speak to us. So, that one, those two, and that one. So I am going to leave all of the cards sitting face down so that I can't see them until I'm actually ready to read them, Pisces. The reason that I do this is it helps for more of the intuitive and psychic energies to flow in rather than my conscious mind seeing the cards and going, oh, and then being predictive about it. Next card that we're going to pull, Pisces, are going to be cards of what you are currently focusing on. So what are the Pisces focusing on for early to mid-June? What are the Pisces focusing on? So I do have a mess here. I'm going to see what falls out or comes out of this. Yeah, there's a group of cards that just came out. Anything else? Yep, and a bunch more just came out. So what I'm going to do, because we have far too many cards here to actually read for you, Pisces. Yeah, I'm thinking you're probably not focusing on quite this much. And if you are, Pisces, you're going to be feeling very, very overwhelmed at this time. So what we'll do is we'll mix up this smaller deck here. And we do have 3 cards that have come out. So let's have a look at those in just a moment. The next cards that we're going to pull out for you, Pisces, are going to be cards of difficult influences. I am getting called back over to the fairies. The fairies really want to speak to you right now. Yeah. Okay, is there anything else coming up for difficult influences for the Pisces? Early to mid-June. Yep. All right, anything else? Anything else? Oh, will you look at that? We have another one that's done the same thing as the card last time. So we will pull that one out. All right, this was the first card. Second, we do have a reversed card here, so we will read it as such. Okay, the next card that we're going to pull for you is a card that just makes sense. Now, for those of you who are new here, the card that just makes sense is a card that helps to either tie the rest of the reading together if things seem a little bit disjointed as I start to turn the cards over. The card that just makes sense oftentimes will be like a kind of a ding, ding, ding going off, and we go, oh, right. Okay, this is how they all work together. The other thing that the card that just makes sense may do is have the identical meaning to another card within your reading, thus giving you a double reinforcement about the energies intended behind that card and how important it is to sit up and pay attention to them at this time. I'm getting called over here to the Sacred Traveler. So card that just makes sense, or cards that just make sense for Pisces, June 1st through June 15th. I think we'll be going through the deck a second time here. All right. Card that just makes sense. There we go. Anything else? Nope. Okay. All right. Now, the next card that we're going to pull for you, Pisces, are going to be cards of unexpected influences and unexpected, just in general, things that are unexpected. I got called very strongly over here. All right. Unexpected influences and insights. The two eyes, influences and insights. I couldn't come up with the other word a second ago. Okay. Unexpected. All right. We do have two cards that have come out for you in that category. And the last cards that we're going to pull are going to be cards of your general overall outcome. Now, the cards of general overall outcome are the cards that are predicting or projecting the energies of where you're going to be at come middle of June. Oops. All right. General overall outcome for the Pisces. Anything else? Anything else? And yet again, nope, it fell back in. So, all right, that card and that one, and let's get started, Pisces. So we're going to start with cards that are indicating where you're at now. Interestingly, we have this blue card, which is part of winter, green card part of autumn, blue card part of winter, and green card part of autumn. So this indicates that you may have a little bit of this back and forth going on between winter and autumn. You also may have this back and forth kind of going on with the energies right now. So you've got the King of Winter coming in, and the King of Winter is all about advice. It's about seeking advice from someone who is clearly more knowledgeable than you, somebody who is going to be professional and objective. And you'll notice here that you've got the owl sitting on the corner or on the shoulder of the King of Winter here. Okay, the owl is all about the wise old owl. And so the King of Winter is about being that wise old soul, that person that we seek out when we require advice from someone. I am indicating, or I'm feeling, sensing that this King of Winter that's coming in is not you. It's about you needing to seek out this advice or this person. Okay, sometimes I get the sense that the card is about you and you are the one that's going to be doling out that advice. But in this particular case, I'm sensing that this is more about you needing advice of some kind at this time. You have the Four of Autumn coming in here. The Four of Autumn is the card of creating balance when it comes to your finances. In the Osho Zen deck, for example, the Four of Pentacles, Four of Autumn, is represented by the Miser. And it's a card of making sure that you have enough money coming in to cover the expenses and the money that's going out. So at this time, this card is indicating, Pisces, that you really need to make sure that your budget is balanced. you may need to ask some advice from someone else in order to balance your budget. Now, the nice thing about the King of Winter or the King of Swords is that he is a very unemotional character. So there's a good chance that whomever you are going to seek advice from at this time, Pisces, especially regarding your money or your career, is probably not going to get emotionally involved, regardless of how bad or how good your finances may be at this time. When you are asking for that advice, you're just going to get the straight goods from this king. There isn't going to be any fanfare. There isn't going to be any over the top dramatics. It's just going to be straight shooting. Hey, you're doing well, or hey, you know what? You need to make some changes here. The next card that you have is the Seven of Winter, also known as the Seven of Swords. And again, this is a card of potentially running away from the truth. This is a card of not seeing things clearly and going out and being distracted. So you'll notice on this card, you've got the fairy who's out figure skating. Well, there's probably more important things. Now, that's not to say, Pisces, that going out and skating or swimming or doing some kind of activity isn't helpful. But in this particular sense, what the Seven of Swords is telling you is that you are practicing distraction instead of paying attention to the things that are really important at this time. And you also have the 10 of Autumn, also known as the 10 of Pentacles, coming in. What does this card mean? This is a card of making sure that your ducks are in a row with regards to your money. So the 4 of Pentacles or 4 of Autumn is about making sure that you are budgeting properly. And this is more of a card of making sure that you're putting money away for a rainy day, planning for your retirement, for the financial security of both yourself and your family. Okay. Let's have a look at what cards have come in, and all 3 cards for your focus have come in the reversed position. Interestingly, you have more swords here, including the double whammy of having the King of Swords here. So the King of Swords, again, you had the King of Swords here in the upright, asking you to go out and ask for advice from someone else, someone who's not emotionally attached to what's happening going on in your life. You also have the wise old owl coming in on this card. And here you have the King of Sword in reverse in your focus. What is that telling me? It's telling me, Pisces, that you don't want to pay attention to the advice that you're getting. You're ignoring it. You're asking for advice, and then you're promptly saying, all right. You have the 10 of Pentacles coming in, and you also have the 6 of Swords. Interestingly, it's quite interesting to me that so far you have all of these cards out. You have 7 cards out, and out of the 7 cards, all of them are either Pentacles or Swords. You have no Cups and no Wands coming in at this time here leading into June. What is that telling me? It's telling me that right now, Pisces, it's really, really important for you to be paying attention to your money, to be balancing your money, to be seeking advice from others. You've got the 10 of Pentacles in reversed here. What the 10 of Pentacles in reverse is telling me is that you're stagnating with regards to money. Why are you stagnating? Because you're kind of thumbing your nose at the advice that you're getting from the King of Swords. You've got the King of Swords coming in twice, and yet it's coming in reversed here with you going, I don't need your advice. Well, what is that doing to your 10 of Pentacles? Well, you have the 10 of Pentacles twice again. 10 of Pentacles here and 10 of Pentacles in reverse here. What are the chances in 2 different decks that you would get the King of Swords and the 10 of Pentacles And then the King of Swords and the Ten of Pentacles. Pretty slim, unless there's a really, really, really important message here for you, Pisces. And that important message is that there's advice coming in for you, that you need to be making sure that you've got your ducks in a row with regards to planning for your future and your retirement. You need to be making sure that you have budgeted properly and that you don't have more going out than what you have coming in. You need to make sure that you're not practicing avoidance. And then you've got cards coming in going, I know better than the King of Swords. I know better than the advice that I'm seeking out. I'm comfortable where I am, so I don't need to make plans for tomorrow. You've also got the Six of Swords coming in reversed. This is a card of delays. This is actually a positive card in the reverse. Why is this card positive in the reverse? Because it's actually delaying things so that you can take the advice that you're being given and turn these two cards back over so that you're actually taking the advice of the king. And so that you are actually budgeting and preparing and making those plans for the future. Six of Swords in reverse, delaying things for you, which is a good thing. All right, let's see what we have. Okay. So what we have in your difficult influences is the Two of Autumn. Again, another Pentacles card coming in. This is a card that with regards to your finances, you are, so normally the Two of Autumn would be about bringing fun into your finances as well as juggling multiple priorities and making some decisions. It's about a duality that's coming in for you. In the difficult influences, what this card is telling me is that you've got a lot on your plate right now. You're multitasking, and you're multitasking a little bit too much, especially when it comes to your money. You've got the Five of Spring coming in here. The Five of Spring is about differing goals and opposing influences. You know, you've got different opinions coming up, especially considering you've got the King of Swords coming in twice here. So you are seeking out advice, but some of the advice that you're getting is differing opinions, and you're choosing with the King of Swords in reverse here to ignore some of the advice. Might be good advice, but you might have a lot of it coming in. Nothing wrong with that, but it may require you to sit down and take some time to kind of sort it out. You've got the Star coming in your difficult influences in reverse. Now, the Star is typically a really positive card. It's about It's about looking to the future with hope and optimism. But given that it's come in both in reverse and in your difficult influences, to me, this is telling me that at this time, Pisces, you're looking to the future with dread instead of with this optimism. So in order to turn this around, you're going to have to bring some positivity into your life. Positivity may come in the form of seeking advice from outside of yourself and listening to the advice and making sure that your finances are in order. And again, this is a general reading, and I am not giving specific financial advice. I mean, it's sound advice to say, hey, if there's somebody in your midst that has a whole lot of experience when it comes to finances, potentially even a certified financial advisor, by all means, seek that person out. Bend their ear a little bit. Ask for their advice. Okay? Me referring to get your affairs in order, Pisces. Make sure that you are preparing for the future. Make sure that you have more coming in than what you have going out is just sound general advice to anybody who exists on the planet who deals with money. It's not specific in any way other than it's coming through really strongly for your particular zodiac sign. Okay. You have the Justice card coming in as well. in your difficult influences. And the Justice card is about paying attention to details, making sure that all of your I's are dotted and your T's are crossed. So when you are making decisions about your finances, Pisces, during the first half of June, make sure that you're actually reading the contract and you're not just grabbing a pen and signing it. In your card that just makes sense, you are in unknown territory right now, Pisces. So Pisces, for many of you, because most of you were born in the age of Pisces, but you were born in a transition as we were transitioning into the age of Aquarius. And as we've moved into the age of Aquarius now in 2023, you are definitely in unknown territory. And for many of you, having to ask for advice from someone else is really difficult for most of you. Most of the Pisces that I know, they don't like having to ask for advice. And yet you've been told twice here to ask for advice. Definitely unknown territory for you. Let's have a look at what is coming up for your unexpected. Okay. Your unexpected is yet another Swords card here. You have the Eight of Swords coming in. This is a card that represents guilt. What makes us feel guilty? Oftentimes, what can make us feel guilty is if we are told to ask for advice and we ask for advice and then we ignore it. This makes us feel guilty. So, would you like to avoid this, Pisces? Then definitely seek out some advice and make sure that your finances are in order. The other card that you have in your unexpected influences is the number 16 card from the Major Arcana. This card in this particular deck is the Thunderbolt. In the traditional tarot, this card is the Tower. You might want to pay attention right now, Pisces. This card is indicating that some point between June 1st and June 15th of 2023, rather significant change is going to come in. It will hit you like a lightning bolt. There are changes and shifts happening that, for the most part, those of you who are seeking out psychics and tarot card readers and watching videos such as this, there are influences coming in that you're probably already aware of. And there are agendas going on working behind the scenes that you're probably already aware of. And for some of you, you are sitting on the edge of your seats going, when's it going to happen? When's it going to happen? Because you have been told for a fairly significant length of time at this point that these changes are coming, these changes are happening, and in particular, changes regarding our financial systems. And that's why we need to make sure that we are preparing our financial systems for the future in order to either live under the new agenda or to try to not live within the boundaries of what the minority has planned for the majority. Like I said, for the majority of you who are seeking out the advice of psychics, you know what I'm talking about, even though this seems like it's a little cagey. What this is telling me, Pisces, is that changes are coming. Given all of the other swords and pentacles that you have coming out in this reading, it's an indication that it directly relates to your money, your finances, and your career. Let's have a look at what you have coming in for your general overall outcome. Your general overall outcome, you have the Four of Wands, which is a positive card. It's a card that says that you will actually listen to the advice that you're being given. Ultimately, you will. I do sense that there is going to be this time, because you do have this Two of Autumn here in your difficult influences. This creates a duality. There is going, and because you had the King of Winter come in both upright and reversed, there is going to be a period of time in early June where you're going to do this flip-flop type thing, Pisces, where you're going to be tempted not to follow professional advice, where you're going to be tempted to dismiss that advice. This Four of Wands is indicating that ultimately you do take that advice, and thus there is a positive outcome that comes out of it, in particular with regards to business, finances, or a major project that you're working on at this time. The other card that you have coming in is the Three of Cups. The Three of Cups in the upright position is a card of celebration. In fact, in the Osho Zen Tarot, it's the card of celebration. It says celebration across the bottom of it. And so this is a card of celebrating the outcome. So as much as some people look at this, the Thunderbolt or the Tower card, and go, ah, tragedy and something bad is coming in, the reality is that change is coming. Change can be good or change can be bad, depending on which side of the coin you decide to view it from, right? Upright or reversed. If you've made all of the plans, if you've followed the advice that you've been given, as indicated by this Four of Wands, that you are in fact going to heed some of the advice that's coming in for you in early June, there's an indication here that you do have a very positive outcome. The other thing that this card in particular represents is cycles. So this card has 3 women on it, thus indicating or representing the 3 cycles that or the 3 stages or phases that women go through. You've got the maiden, you've got the goddess, and you've got the crone represented on here. And so this is about cycles and phases, reminding you that as much as this thunderbolt, as your unexpected influence may be uncomfortable, as much as change may be uncomfortable, ultimately you have a general overall positive outcome, and that it's just a phase. So even if the outcome is not as rosy as you originally anticipated it was going to be, you can put a positive twist on it by way of saying, this is a phase, and so too shall this pass. All right. Thank you very much, Pisces, for being here. I hope that you'll join me again next month. Actually, no, in the middle of the month. Sorry about that. I hope that you'll join me again come mid-June for your next reading.